you know, the salvage job. That's a fantastic start to the day for them and much needed points.
Absolutely. Well, a game.
Talk about much needed points.
I was going to say the game might not have gone the way that Ghost wanted it to go last time around, but they have a fresh start here in the desert. And joining us to walk us through the early game and some of the ins and outs of Ghost Gaming is Jabroni.
Gentlemen, how we doing?
Terrific. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. You know, game one could have went a little better there. It got a little shaky during the start, chasing a couple circles, and ended up being only a 3-point game.
So this plane path, we're headed all the way down through the southern part, but mostly to the west. This is the mines loot strategy for you guys. Not going to change anything up here?
Yeah, Minas Generalis. We have a saying, every plane is a Minas plane. Apparently, except for this plane. This is the first time ever that we've actually had to long fly a little bit.
So there were some strategies going on in the scrims. Are we going to see, without getting into too much detail, I know that you're not happy specifically with where you're at on the leaderboard, but is anything going to be changing today?
I mean, we might mix a few things up. Obviously, we had an awful week 2. That's why we're in the position that we're in right now. The other 3 weeks, we had some pretty good games, but that was, you know, a 37-point week, and that put us back 40 points on the rest of the pack. So we have a lot to make up. We've had a good week so far, but we got to get points, and this is beautiful.
And this is the circle you want to see here. Maybe a little northern rotate here for Ghost Gaming coming out of the mines.
Yeah, I think this is something that we really like here. Deep southwest is pretty bad for us, so that's kind of the worry with a plane like that, but this comes out all right.
I was just going to ask a quick question. We're talking about last days and switching anything up and whatnot. And that last plane, obviously, a very south one on her angle. And we saw you, well, we actually saw Shrimsy try and set up a trap on the highway. Is that something you guys have, like, rehearsed, or is that something you've kind of always kept in the back pocket? And, I mean, ultimately, unfortunately, not paying off, but is that something you guys have kind of, you've planned out a couple of things? Like we've seen Envy kind of spring these traps. Is that something you guys are looking to do this weekend?
It's always something that's kind of in there. You got to get the right plane, you got to get the right circle, and it was one of those situations when we have rumblers and we know they're in front of us and we need them to not be. Yeah. We need to make up some points there, so that was something that we kind of sprung. Unfortunately, one of the players was spotted out, which is why it ended up the way it did, where we did lose Shrimsy early.
So a couple weeks back, giving Drassel a hard time on Twitter, we had a quick discussion about how the team is set up in roles, bringing Vegas onto the team. What's changed, and how have you kind of set the squad up to perform?
Yeah, so obviously bringing Vegas in is a big change to the team, especially, you know, when we had Balak. Balak did all the no fun things where it was watching behind and things of that nature, and we needed to kind of fill that role, and Drassel kind of voluntarily did that in a lot of situations, just sitting there. I'll watch behind, I'll watch our threat. You know, I won't shoot as much as the rest of the team, and that's, you know, you get a player like Vegas, you want to put him out there, you want him to shoot his gun.
So as a coach, are you rotating roles on a regular basis, trying to see who fits best where, or is this kind of left up to the players typically?
I mean, a lot of it is definitely them and their play style. A lot of people kind of volunteer and fall into roles a lot of the time. You definitely don't want to rotate them too much. Too much switching back and forth. People don't quite understand how to do certain situations, and you know, you only get a certain circle so many times. There's so many different variations. So if you switch it a lot, you're gonna have people who have no idea what they're supposed to do in a given situation.
So off the back of that, I've heard that some teams like to, when they bring in a new player, try everyone at a certain role, be it IGL, you know, as you called it, the threat defense on the backside, or defending on flanks. Is that something that you think has merit, or is it, again, just player choice?
I mean, for us, like our example, like Mkwezi IGL, period. Like there is no moving that anywhere. You know, Vegas was an IGL playing with the United. He has a lot of experience in that, but you know, he came into the team and instantly was like, hey, Mkwezi IGL, and you need to fall in line just like everybody else, and he's done a great job doing that.
Fair enough. So looking at this first circle, is there any team that you're expecting to clash with, at least on Miramar in general? Has anyone kind of identified themselves, either just through time or otherwise, as your kind of direct rival?
Not so much. On Miramar, we bump heads with Lazarus a lot. They rotate through us, we rotate through them. So there's a lot of early game shots back and forth. But not too much on this map. I think Envy would probably be a team that we fight the most, especially on southern zones. Like there's a lot of Envy Ghost tempo going on, and that seems to be a trend there.
Looking at the total points, what is your goal for today? What is a realistic expectation for you guys for this last 5 games of this phase?
I mean, we came in today talking about top 5. That was the discussion we were having. We were only 20-something points out. We're still in the same boat there. I think Jen's at 307 right now. So, you know, that's 29 points. That's super feasible, especially after one big game. You know, we get one win, one 20-point game, all of a sudden we're right there. But for us, really the only thing we care about is PGC, and that's kind of what we're worrying about. We really don't care about anything else along that line. Like, how we finish this phase would be great, but it's all about where are the teams that are going to take our spot at Worlds.
Just coming back to the original question I asked, how much, I mean, this is the question we always get asked as, players previously, from my experience, where's the point at which you say, we need to do something about Rumblers? Because ultimately it's in your guys' power at that point. And if it's close in a situation, in the last, maybe 3 games, 2 games or something, what's the motivation there? What's the point at which that then turns into, yeah, okay, we're not just hot dropping to do something, it's the bigger picture?
Yeah, I think it pretty much started today, obviously, with game 1, changing up the early game a little bit there just to try and, put them off their game for the rest of the day and kind of move around and see what we can do. But unfortunately, in this situation, there's so many different combinations of where these teams can be. Riot Squad getting third's a huge problem for us. We need Sonics to do as well as they could possibly do, but not too good. There's a lot of stuff
good,
that needs
but
to
not great.
happen. Yeah, and it's really just wherever we are in the last couple games here is going to pretty much decide our situation.
I think it's interesting though, because even things like that, if that had gone the other way and you just got 1 kill for that. Oh, that's good.
That's a bad one.
We're gonna sit here. We're gonna make Jabroni stay here and watch Lazarus.
I told you we always get into these early games. Like, we just rotate through each other like every single time. It is a trend on Miramar.
I mean, this is a wide split from Lazarus though. They're occupying the high ground. Kurt's actually the last one down in San Martin. So, I mean,
just a bit of a bump there. While we're in rotation, Jabroni, thank you so much for joining us, giving the insight, and nothing but good luck for Ghost Gaming the rest of today.
All right, I love you guys.
Wow, I love you too. I didn't know we were going to go there, but I appreciate the
personal at the end there.
It's the tender sentiments that I really appreciate about Jabroni. But yes, we did see Lazarus kind of bump into Ghost there, send him a little bit further to the north on San Martin Tempo. They're rotating all the way north as well, typically what we see from them.
We're actually seeing Lazarus, I already said that they had a pretty wide spread across this high ground here. Roth actually going to get shut down by Luke 12, so great start here for Lazarus, picking up, essentially a free kill point, not even before the first circle's closed.
Walt is there as well, and
solo. Walt's there solo.
Yeah, and that is, at Zenith, we've kind of seen that a lot, where they do hit these splits and then kind of have a wedge driven between them, either Lazarus or another team. And that is the risk with these splits, especially on Miramar, where sightlines are hard to manage. Yeah,
and ultimately, I mean, these teams are so good at scouting. They don't see something and shoot immediately. They're looking for information. Obviously, ultimately, if you're looking, you only see 1 person or 2 people, then, I mean, most teams are going to, good teams at this level are going to take the decision to, punish that. You can already see Kurt actually moving up to the red brick here, so they've identified that it's more than likely not a full 4.
Well, as the first circle continues to close, the only teams that haven't made it into the zone so far are Player One Esports on the southern side, Tempo all the way up north. And this is where Tempo is so good at pacing, where they don't need to be engaging in anything at this stage.
No, they
can just do whatever they want.
They have no pressure. They have no motivation to kind of get in and say, we need kills. It's they're taking a leisurely stroll through the north side of the map, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. So the scenic tour of the water treatment plant up in the northern side, but for Lazarus, opposite for them. They want first place.
They do.
And that is, nothing's really going to stop them there. They do have to maintain some consistency. Oh, Walt, he's been surprised. He's going to say hi to Vegas on the inside. So luckily, Jabroni will be elsewhere for that one, but Vegas will go down first for Ghost Gaming in San Martin.
And again, this is more information for Lazarus. Lazarus getting that first pick onto Roth now, and obviously didn't see in the kill feed. They didn't know it was Ghost that was shooting at because they didn't get a knock. But Ghost now wrapping all the way around to the side. This gives Lazarus the information that Ghost have pulled into San Martin as well.
So we will see a shift come all the way up, and it's going to stay with San Martin relatively featured. But there's going to be a lot of terrain in the center position. There is a warehouse position that they can, I think Wildcard could likely steal, and they'll be there first.
And look at Tempo's stroll now. Tempo
hey,
pretty much
what's going on, everyone else in this tournament? It's us, Tempo Storm. No cares in the world.
But if they get up to the plane crash up on just northwest side of San Martin, that's a fantastic spot to just kind of rotate into for free.
Riot Squad in rotation, and they're going to tangle up with Envy again in the second consecutive game. It's Moody with the M4 trying to get those long-distance shots. Let's see what the Mini can do, and it's going to be really hard to get. One shot. I mean, that's a good shot on the small back window of the Murado.
That's like shooting somebody with an M16 at that range. That's
yeah, 16
damage. It's going to graze them.
Ow, don't. Stop it.
I got stung.
So, Riot Squad, you heard Jabroni talking about it. They're the team that no one expected to do well, and I guess it's time to move past that, but now they're causing legitimate issues for teams trying to get to the global championship at the end of the year.
And actually, yeah, just coming back on, Lazarus, again, reading that information so well. They've identified, I mean, they more than likely know that Walt is pretty much solo down here. This is what you want to see from Lazarus, though, on a day like today. Literally taking every opportunity to look for these points.
Clearing houses. Walt is like, I gotta get out of here, dude. They're all coming for me. And now he's gonna try and escape, or at least get around and behind, but no help is coming his way at the Patron and Kendo. Oh, it's a little ring around the rosy. Back up the stairwell. Someone's gonna spot him. He's got nowhere to go. It's like a horror movie.
Keep running.
Maybe he's gonna bash him over the head with a pot and try and make a run for the attic where no one will find him. Oh, Walt's gonna go. Oh, trade. Nice there. That's the way you want to do it. We did see Lazarus kind of, miss one of those or two, but that was nice.
We
nice
saw
execution.
yesterday, actually, Kurt got down for free in that engagement with Sonic. So, again, good to see them now playing a lot cleaner. They're counter-peeking each other and trading.
Very nice play there from Lazarus, picking up one more kill. Now it's back to tempo, and they've actually found Vanquish. So it's blue on blue here. Zampa will take down Tetra. And Kickstart.
They're probably coming in from Kickstart. Yeah, Wildcard all the way up on the hill there. So Kickstart picking up a kill for free there. Vanquish now backs against the wall. They've got tempo in their compound.
Nice angle. Yeah, Sharpshot will be there to trade. Always on point is Tempo Storm with their support in these team fights. So they will get the res onto Zampa and the flush onto Reno. Finna and Fozu will have to go elsewhere as they are just going to veer off and likely not want to commit to this.
I think Adam might actually find Fozu up. Yeah, you can see already Adam shooting at Fozu up on the hill. So that split, again, just being punished by Tempo.
This is my home territory of Power Grid. The Sonics have taken the brick building with a Riot Squad not too far away, and that is kind of the biggest center feature at this stage. Wildcard continuing to try and find Fozu, and he's just gonna walk right on out and say, hey, I guess that's it. Adam's not even gonna, we're not even gonna waste the grenade.
I like that though. I've criticized players a couple of times this phase for overusing utility, and in this situation, it's, I mean, you're wasting the nade effectively.
It's almost habit.
It is, yeah.
You know, it absolutely is habit, and you know, we no longer see the same grenade spawns in the pro leagues. They've been cut way down, and that has had effect on especially late game situations where normally you'd be flushing teams out with a barrage of 6 or 7 grenades. But now having to choose very carefully when you use them, and those decisions, I could flush this player by taking 25 steps or throw a grenade.
Yeah.
And in Adam's case, heads up play there. We're going to see another circle shift, move back towards Wildcard and Riot Squad, with Sonic still feeling pretty good in the power area. So
and Wildcard actually in a position here to punish a lot of teams, because obviously we've pretty much got, you know, 2 small compounds, Power Grid, and then Wildcard's compound that are in here. So it's a lot of terrain that's punishable by Wildcard's position. So I want to see them regroup towards the south side, but still keep an eye on, obviously, the fact they're going to know Vanquish. They have to come in from this side. They probably have the information on Tempo because they got that free Kickstart, picked up that free kill, but Wildcard in a good spot right now.
Lazarus continuing to harass Ghost, who are getting out of San Martin and trying to take zone position, at least a little bit further ahead of Lazarus, but they've got Tempo Storm to their north. So now it's going to be a near sandwich as Tempo Storm climbs the hill behind them.
This spot right here is one of the worst spots to play if Tempo get occupy the top of this hill. If they have the high ground, they just have such good angles down to this. And the fact that Lazarus are pressuring them as well, I think they're going to be stuck against the side of the road here.
It's going to be difficult for Ghost. Lazarus is getting more aggressive. They're coming out just to, you know, take a little bit of vision. You can see Tempo slowly climbing the hill behind them. So if Tempo does come over the ridge line, Lazarus and Tempo will just eviscerate Ghost.
They're going to hear these shots now. Ghost shooting back at Lazarus now is going to give Sharky and Maluk the information. So I'm expecting to see them come a bit further east. I don't know if Zampa is spinning out down the hill there, but he's on a bike, sorry.
Maybe going to collect Sharpshot.
Actually, Sharpshot, I think, has called out low keys rotation in from the north. So you can see Zampa going back to Sharpshot to try and shut off this rotation here, because low key are coming up to the plane crash. They're not going to have anywhere else to go.
Bit of a choice. You can shoot at whoever you want if you're Tempo Storm. Meanwhile, Profi and the rest of Genesis, they've like these little rock outcroppings. We saw them do it in Sanhok yesterday. Now they're doing it here on Miramar.
Ooh, Walter getting knocked over at the shack.
Yeah, he's been down for a while, actually. I think that is Genesis's knock as well. So now it's Micro, who is essentially sewn into the building. He can't do much, and they're completely zoned is on the southern side.
Genesis occupying this rock, actually. Is it? I mean, the split is fine. Obviously, they're again doing this kind of insurance policy. Profi and Kmart are pretty much here to pick up kind of kills in rotation, clear out their edge and whatnot. And you know, Nerf and H-Win are in a compound, so they have the safety net to go back to. But if they allow Envy to get any further north of them, that's going to be a massive problem for them.
And I don't think they've even been able to see.
I don't think they know.
Yeah, they haven't been able to see Envy at this stage. And with Nerf and I believe that's, I think H-Win looking towards Player One Esports, Envy is slowly getting between them. Meanwhile, Luke is still monitoring the players around him. I think he's looking at low key.
This is low key up here. This is what I was calling with Tempo repositioning back to North, Zampa going to back up Sharpshot, but low key now have a terrible cross across this road.
And they have been in a precarious position very frequently. And
they're going to crash Ghost?
Yeah, they're going right into Ghost Gaming. And that would be nice for Ghost if they didn't have Lazarus and Tempo nearby as well. Tempo has retaken the top of the hill, and now it's a bit of a cluster on the side of the zone as we see the circle shift once again towards Power Grid. Ghost is in the edge, and Lazarus has taken position. Now, I would like to see Lazarus come off this fight almost at this stage, Hypoc, and kind of rejoin forces.
Yeah, I think there's still an option for them to kind of play north of where Kurt and Halo are, but you can see Luke and Uncivil still trying to pressure down. Uncivil are actually going to get a knock onto Fignaldo, so I don't think Ghost have the information of what team this is, but they should be fully aware that Loki have nowhere else to go.
Ghost is committed to the position, and it is a little dangerous with Tempo just not making the move we expected so far.
They can't overpeak this.
Yes, and here's Envy. They did get between Genesis, but it looks like Profi has gotten the opening kill onto Moody, and that is going to force Taro and Patcaps and Pride to retreat a little bit. Now Ghost will get another kill, or at least another down onto Lobes, which will be stolen immediately by Luke. So now I actually like this, Hypoc. I would like to see them rejoin forces, but these points are free at this stage.
Yeah, I mean, they've got nobody else pressuring on the inside. As we actually see, and VZ shutting down two members of Tempo. They tried to pull up. Maluk knocks himself off the vehicle as well.
This is unfortunate for Tempo. They tried to get zone priority, and Riot Squad will punish them. So if I'm Lazarus, I'm absolutely ecstatic as Tempo goes down in 16th place.
This is a huge opportunity for Lazarus right now. And you were just saying, these kills are free. There's no pressure over on the northeast side of their circle. So Luke and Uncivil can sit here until they physically have to move because of the safety net of Alo and Kurt.
Absolutely, and this is what Lazarus wants to see, and basically everybody else who isn't Tempo Storm at this stage. So for Riot Squad, they are now 1 point behind Envy for third place.
That's scary.
With Genesis coming in behind as well. So that 3 through 7 pack, very, very tight. And really, even E United is there. Ghost not too far out. Unfortunately for Ghost, they have been stuck in this divot for so long, unable to commit either direction, and are getting no information, Hypoc.
No, and the thing is, I talked about Tempo having a great opportunity to clear both these up. Chubba's actually going to spot Drassel there, but luckily Drassel backs off. He's just seen McCoy as well. They're just kind of biding time now. Pax and Chubba the last two up for low-key, and again, Lazarus have still rotated away, but they're in a position to still hold this area of the map. Ghosts are going to try and go down the road, but I don't think they have an option up onto the hill.
I think Chubb is considering sneaking up behind Drassel and stealing his wallet or something like that at this stage. They're counting players coming out of the divot, and now the spray is going to come out. Drassel only taking 50% HP, he continues to take damage, and he will actually get down by McCoy, and that is unfortunate. We've seen this happen to low-key time and time again.
Drassel's 10 HP.
What can you say? You got to hit those, I suppose.
They should have team shot that, though. They both had line of sight on that. They both should have waited and just called out a countdown to shoot him.
It is what it is. And now Chubba is trying to make something happen as he's getting pressure from Lazarus. And it's smart to heads-up play from them, Hypoc, at this stage. And they're all over the map, is Lazarus. They're all spread out.
Look at Luke.
Yeah, he's way out there. He's just trying to get those kills. They need the points.
Luke's trying to knock McCoy, actually. Luke's actually getting some damage down to McCoy on the road with this Mini 14, but Chubba now prone in the smoke, and you can see Luke pulling back now. I think he's called the information. I'd like to see Lazarus get aggressive and try and clear the side of the circle.
Profi presses W, Luke presses mouse 1. That's his thing. You know, he just wants to shoot all the time, and he's the leader in damage for a reason.
I was going to say, all that stuff I said about these players scouting and not shooting immediately. Luke is the one that, he sees something, he'll shoot.
Yeah, he uses his sense of touch. He only wants to be able to shoot the players, nothing else. No watching, no listening, only shooting. So now we are going to see another circle shift towards Power Grid. Sonic's feeling good. Riot Squad have a little dip they've been working with. They already trapped Tempo in there. Rumblers are actually going to go out to Player One Esports. This is on the southwestern side where Genesis is, and Rumblers just got trapped by them and could not make their way into the zone. And still with Genesis 4 strong, they've got Player One Esports on the other side of this ridge. Nerf's got a nade. This could be massive if it lands well. Really overcooked.
Really overcooked,
yeah, really overcooked there. But Nerf is going to unleash. H-Win steps over, takes down David, and now the shots ring out the quick flush, 1 point in the kitty, and they want more. They have them all lined up behind the ridge line, and this is where I would imagine we would like to see Profi or K-Mine try and get a flank going, but just boosting up, aware Hypoc that the circle's about to close.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is a position where Genesis are literally putting themselves in a spot where they can pick it up. Aguila's on this nade over. Could get H1 down.
That's a big one there, and now it's going to be Nerf trying to defend. Aguila, this is going to set some time up for, I believe, Player One Esports to res as well, but Nerf is watching and waiting, and Aguila is there. Here the footsteps, the 249,
oh.
Surprise Aguila, and he's gonna go down, and now the Nerf, or excuse me, the Nerf res will start while Profi tries pivotally now to take down D-Treats. 1 HP, one more shot, he will get them. More points for Genesis.
Nice cleanup there. The last gun you want to see somebody with when you peek over a ridge like that. But again, excellent position from Genesis. They held them right at the edge of the zone there. Unfortunately, I think we're actually... Did we see SSG go out there?
I didn't see SSG go out, but we did see a couple of teams go. We have Rumblers, Tempo Storm, Player One, and Vanquish. And that nade's going to come up and over in the pocket, bounce once over, and do enough damage to make Kendo feel it. But Pat Caps is in the front line. That Molly is right in the button as well. I think he might be on fire.
No!
Yes, indeed. Kendo is cooking. He's going to have to stick the med. He can't get it. Pride will cook him alive with a nice Molotov.
And actually elsewhere, Baja doing massive damage to Wildcard over on the northwest corner of this. Baja actually all the way over the north side of the road, but the rest of his teammates going down. He's just got to run in the open now, and you can already see Adams putting some shots down.
I like the spread here from Lazarus. They're getting more and more control, more space on their side of the zone. Ghost is kind of coming in on the northern side. Genesis, by the way, 8 kills now as they will finish off Wolf. And Endemic is a prime target as they're trying to get in their vehicles. Crispier gets taken down, but that'll get stolen by Penta at distance. Now only Relo.
This timing for this Resident, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get Profi.
It's close. I think they have a little bit of time, but yeah, it's real damn close there, Hypoc. Relo using the vehicle that Crispier just got shot out of. He's going to move away from Genesis. Profi is taking zone damage. They're going to lose him, but they have got a ton of kills for how many players they've had up so far.
Yeah, Kickstart actually picking that one up. So again, Wildcard's looking really aggressive up on this north side, just coming up onto the hill from the road, but you can already see Ghost pushing towards them as well, so they've got to be aware of their surroundings. Genesis right now need to reset. I think they've done a fantastic job of clearing out this edge, but I mean, with a circle shift like that,
Riot Squad,
yeah,
feeling good at this stage. They are now with Envy on the other side, still jousting. They're trying to get into that third place spot. They've got the center, and now they can also use their terrain to prevent Genesis from getting super close to where they're at. They've got a line and some shots onto K-Mine. H-Win has actually come forward. They did not spot him, and that will be massive. If H-Win can get a couple of... Oh, maybe they heard the footsteps?
What, that nade?
What a grenade! Oh, my God. A couple of more meters, and H-Win would have lost his face.
How did they spot him? How did that, somebody must have been scouring forward there for later, because... I mean, that nade was nearly bang on the money.
I think we had the high side observer that maybe...
VZ or Protege must have spotted that.
Yep. So that's good communication and much needed for Riot Squad, who have a great spot in the zone, at least their center. We're going to see Taro go down. Balefrost gets... Endemic will go out. So now Lazarus, they're slowly making their way towards Sonics, and this is going to be hard.
This is a difficult cross here. This is a really difficult cross here. They almost have no terrain to kind of sit behind, so hoping they've still managed to keep up some utility. Tickleton going to go for a nade out the window. I was going to say, that's the
window bars,
those
man.
Window bars. There's no way you want to be throwing a nade like that.
I've made that mistake about 1,000 times, going in or out. And that nade does land close.
Nade.
Oh my, that's the camera angle that looked really close, but it was actually far away. So now Lazarus using the smoke line. Ghost is observing this, and they just don't have the ability to do anything as Tickleton's been distracted, and now they're taking down Ghost, which allows Lazarus to get the ridge line.
Lazarus actually great use of utility. That nade coming all the way down. Nearly actually flushed down McCoy. Drassel forced behind this rock now. Lazarus making a great push onto this compound. Shrimsy did shut down Kurt, so I think they're going to have some time to get this res because of the way the smokes are set up.
I'm wondering if they're going to want to try and res with Sonic so close. That nade does land close. Not close enough to do any damage to Shrimsy. Drassel out in the open. Ghost is in a world of hurt. McCoy is going to go down to the zone, and that means Shrimsy and Drassel are going to have to make a play. Drassel coming up on the side, spotted by Luke, and immediately starts taking damage. With Lazarus taking this, they've taken the sight lines away from Sonics, allowing these teams to essentially double team the remnants of Ghost Gaming.
I mean, really, Lazarus should be pinched here, but Sonics literally holding off Ghost means that Lazarus have got the space to hold this ridge outside the red brick building.
This is going to be Ghost going down almost certainly as Shrimzy lost his helmet. He's got 0 HP, and it's a race. Bully's going to win. So now it's going to be Lazarus and Sonics. The Molly is in play as well, and this is going to be a heavyweight matchup. Tony V with the grenade prime. Meanwhile, we have Riot Squad still holding off against Genesis.
I mean, these are literally all the teams we want to see alive right now. Coming into the 7th zone. Look at that. Coming back towards Power Grid again. Genesis in a position. They're trying to still clear up Wildcard up on the north side. But look at Riot Squad's spread here.
Really nice. Oh, Protege is going to go down.
Civil's pushed all the way over.
That was just a 1-2 tap with the old M4 at distance, and that's the pro level of Civ's aim. Going to stand up. They can hear Sonics. They're all in one building. Hard to take this. If they can get Tony down or maybe rely on damage from other teams, they can also skirt all the way around.
I mean, Luke actually just looking for an opportunity to push into this. So they're fully aware of how Sonics are set up. And I think ultimately Lazarus want to get aggressive on this.
Envy is continuing to lose players. Pat Caps is in the, I believe, the primary building for Power Grid.
That's in the generators. I think he's in the...
Just hiding.
Yeah.
Well, he's chilling. Oh, yeah, he is in the generators.
That's it. Genesis is pushing on. They're going to get the knock onto later with the nade.
That was a nice nade, and now it's going to be defense coming up from Mystery.
Another nade coming up. Oh, way short.
Yeah, really short. Nerf with the freaking scope on the 249, dog. He's just letting go.
Oh!
But Mystery is going to stand up and shut him down as Nerf is going to be critically wounded, and now that means that it's up to K-Mine to try and defend. Nerf aggro there, trying to clear out the divot of Riot Squad, but it's going to cost Genesis.
I mean, Riot Squad won this kill as well. I think Mystery's going to go for the red zone. VZ actually getting the confirm onto Nerf, so that's huge. Right now, H-Win trying to peek over. You can see he's getting damaged from elsewhere. United are pushed out to the west side of Power Grid.
Yep, this is Genesis. They're zoned. They don't have the terrain advantages that Riot Squad do, and Riot Squad is not receiving pressure from any other team, which is making it so difficult for Genesis to get anything going. Lazarus continuing to skirt around the ridge line. They've got Penta in front of them, but the Sonic squad is their primary focal point.
And actually, United getting a knock onto H-Win is huge for Riot Squad because Riot Squad have the information on that now. So Riot Squad actually can make the decision if they want to push up. And look, Later's actually throwing some smokes down. He's coming up, he's going to get a flush onto H-Win. K-Mine forced all the way out to the edge of the zone.
Love the aggression from Riot Squad to confirm every point, every single point.
That's the plays we've seen him make all phase.
K-Mine trying to make it happen. He's lost his entire team. And now he's got 2 from Riot Squad to his immediate right. The smokes are down. VZ is in the, I guess, the fail-safe position, waiting to see if K-Mine will reveal himself.
2 of Riot Squad got knocked.
Oh,
United pushed all the way up
out
onto
of
this.
nowhere. And that means Lata's been flushed. VZ's flushed as well. That's going to give K-Mine a little bit of time and space. Mystery's going to stand up. And there goes Riot Squad, 6th place position.
Wow.
They're tied.
What a push from United. Again, great awareness there. Came on with a fantastic spray onto Kurt. Unfortunate not to get the knock there, but Lazarus now pushed up. Look at how wide Stab is.
Oh, Stab could not get the confirm. K-Mine will live just a little bit longer. And Riot Squad, after losing Riot Squad in front of him, now it's up to Lazarus to deal with it as he will nade out K-Mine at another point for that squad, as Envy will take a 1-point lead over Riot Squad, but Lazarus is trying to close the distance and secure this game.
The amount of damage K-Mine just put out there off those 2 sprays was absolutely insane, but United, great awareness pushing out to the west side here. Lazarus actually, arguably in the better of the 2 spots, because United are kind of, they have a way back into Power Grid, but it looks like they're committing to this side.
Well, they have to get rid of United because I think just it's the speed bump to get into the zone at this stage. And here comes Luke with the opening spray. Stab already taking damage, still trying to boost through it. Balefrost also low. Now Sharu taken down. And really, Hypoc, where does United go except for forward?
I mean, Taylor J's come all the way back to Power Grid, but I don't think they can make that cross now with Lazarus being as close in as they are.
Lazarus is coming off of it, though.
They are. They're pulling back.
So Lazarus is going to give some time and space for United to retreat a little bit. And they're just basically monitoring what Sonics are doing. And I think right now the team discussion is, who are we going to commit to? United continues to press forward. I think Lazarus has got to take it to the United squad.
Rat traps.
Oh, Pat Caps rat traps.
He got 1 knock actually. He's got Wooly down. He sees the other person. He's going to get 2 knocks.
Tingleton's down. Another one coming. Pat is actually going to go down to Luke. And that is going to mean that Sonics can get flushed out. 3 points coming for Lazarus.
Free
and now
kills.
They've continued to push in as Sonics are weakened. Let's listen to him. Bring it down.
What up? I think he's on my marker. I'm green. Close. Okay. Somebody clear with me?
Yeah, I'm getting to you.
Actually, just wait. He's going to get pushed out.
I have no vest.
He's there. He's there. I heard him 100%.
Where?
I'm getting left. He's going to peek.
Watching United. They're south.
With you, Halo.
I can't peek this.
He's flush. He got 1 got knocked. One guy knocked.
I have no meds.
Swing and get the points. Swing and get the
No
points.
meds. Okay.
I'm probably dead.
Good job. Go play with that, Melo. Run. I dropped your first hits. First hits. First hits.
I might be dead. I might be dead.
I dropped him on the floor. Bottom. On the bottom. On the bottom. On the
I
bottom.
couldn't get it. I couldn't get it.
Proning into zone slowly.
Slow it
Oh,
down.
man.
Reset. Get to them, Melo. They got a decent spot.
Good. Can I cross this?
United cross already.
I have no smokes if you have a smoke.
You just have to try and play for the cross. You can't really do much.
We're at the air crate. Headshot at air crate.
I have right side air crate.
Okay.
One guy far. One guy on crates. Crates. United.
Crate
I'm
killed
not
me.
from the crate. Not from crate.
Yeah, it looks like it's 3v4.
Yeah.
Try and get a flush. Don't deny points. Try and get a flush.
They're gonna push you for it too, so. Close.
Good try.
Nice
Let's go,
try
boys.
there from Luke. Lazarus will fall to United, who take an 8-kill victory and a critical one at that. High